Mario Party is one of my favorite game franchises of all time, and it is probably my favorite multiplayer experience of all time. Getting around 3 other friends to play a round of Mario Party is just one of the most fun things I can think of. There will be swear words said, there will be kitchen knives thrown, there will be a lot of blood and murder by the end of a Mario Party round. But nevertheless, it is still a really fun time, and everyone loves Mario Party. Well, about a year ago, I did a video giving a tier list of every single mainline Mario Party game's boards, and said which ones were my favorite and which ones were my least favorite. And I wanted to expand on that idea a little bit, except I wanted to go into more detail about why I like particular boards. So today, I'm going to be going into my favorite boards from each game and go into more detail about what I like about them. The main difference between this video as compared to last year's video, besides the fact that I'm going into more detail, is that I'm also including the handheld entries. So I'm going to be including advanced all the way up to top 100. Of course, those 2 games I mentioned only having 1 board, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Without any further ado, if you enjoyed this video, definitely make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and stay tuned for tomorrow's live stream where I'll be playing Peach's birthday cake from Mario Party 1 on the channel live, so, definitely come around, watch that stream tomorrow night, and without any further ado, you guys, let's get into the video. Mario Party 1's boards are interesting. I don't particularly love any of them. There's not one board that I can really look at and go, wow, this board is just the definitive board for this game. Yoshi's Tropical Island kinda comes to mind, but I'm just not a fan of the segmented designed boards. So the board I'm going to choose from this game is Donkey Kong's Jungle Adventure. I guess this board is also technically a segmented board where it's split into 2 halves, but each half has different routes that you can go down and different paths that you can explore, so it's really not that segmented. I really like this board because it feels bigger and more expansive than most of the other boards in the game. The only other one that feels really expansive is Luigi's Engine Room, but even then, it's like, you're limited on where you can go because of the doors, and I don't mind that mechanic, but I do really like Donkey Kong's Jungle Adventure. The fact that there are 2 boos on this board, I'm pretty certain, is honestly pretty insane. The only really, weird kind of thing about it is they kind of put Bowser in a weird spot. He's in a spot where it's like you don't really ever have to encounter Bowser. He just kind of chills there, and you never really have to deal with him unless there's a star right before or right after him. So overall, this board is probably my favorite one from Mario Party 1. I know it's kind of an unpopular opinion, but it's a pretty good one. And I think I had a different opinion back last year when I did that tier list video, but after replaying Mario Party 1 when the Nintendo Switch Online service added 1 and 2 to the service, it definitely did change my mind on the board, and I really do like it. Mario Party 2 is tricky. It has almost the opposite problem of Mario Party 1. I genuinely like every single board in this game. Even after replaying Mystery Land, yeah, it's still not a great board, but I honestly don't mind it as much as I did before. I found it to be a decent enough time, and even though, it's a segmented board, there's still ways to kind of strategize your way of getting to each different segment, so it's not horrible, but definitely still my least favorite. So my favorite board has got to be Western Land. I really had to hem and haw at this one and really try to figure out which one I liked. Bowser Land was nearly in contention because it's just a freaking amazing board. It's just great, but Western Land, what I love about it is that it's simple. It's just a simple, fun board. Sometimes for me, honestly, the simple boards are just the ones that win me over because there's no real BS gimmick, that the board relies on that sometimes, really can hamper a Mario Party board in my opinion. Not always, but they can do it. And this one just thrives on its simplicity. It's a fun board. The train is a cute little mechanic. It doesn't add a whole lot, but it can be interesting to strategize your movement around the board, around you using this train. There's just a lot of cute little details about this board, and the hootenanny, I mean, come on, y'all, we always like to have yourselves a hootenanny. But no, this board's a fun time. It's really cute. I genuinely enjoy it, and it's one that I do wish came to Superstars, because most of the boards in Superstars do have some sort of gimmick to them, and I do think Western Land would have really balanced it out a bit more, as well as adding another board to that, pretty decent-ish roster. Yeah, Western Land is just really good. Mario Party 3, again, has a really solid board selection. There's quite a few good ones here, and I don't think there's a stinker in the bunch, but for me, I've always loved the vibe of Woody Woods. The music of Woody Woods is probably one of my favorite board themes in all of Mario Party. I do like the mechanic of the sign switching, because as annoying as it can be when the sign is in the wrong way, it can lead to so much good strategizing of how you have to make your moves. Always wanting to have, like, a poison mushroom on hand to make you roll low if you don't want to go a certain way, or trying to find an alternate path that might take you longer to get where you need to go because the sign is not facing in the direction that you want it to face. There's just a lot of intricate things about Woody Woods to where, yes, it is a pretty simple board. There's no overly complex, layout to it, but the sign changing mechanic does add a bit to the board, and to me makes it a really fun board. I know a lot of people really don't like this board, and I do understand why, as the sign changing mechanic can be frustrating. But I genuinely do like it, and it does add that little bit of strategy that I do like, to a board. Not to mention, I also do like Woody as a character. I just genuinely find him enjoyable, especially because he came back in Mario Party 6, and Towering Treetop was one of the first Mario Party boards I ever played, so yeah, I just love Woody Woods. It's a great board. I think it's underrated as well, but that does not discount how amazing the boards in Mario Party 3 are in general. Okay, Mario Party 4 was a really tough one, because I don't really care for really any of the boards in this game. Yeah, some of them are pretty cool, like Boo's Haunted Bash is pretty cool, I like the music and the Boo Train, whatever, but it's still not like a board that wows me. So I really had to be selective with this one and really choose one that I'm like, okay, if I'm playing Mario Party 4, which board am I going to choose? And I actually did end up leaning towards Goomba's Greedy Gala. I do think this is the main fan favorite of this game. It's pretty popular, but it's popular for a reason. Yeah, it's a segmented board, which I typically hate, but I do like how the theme of the board, being gambling, does tie into it. You can, spend nothing when you get to those roulette circles, and you'll be thrown in a random direction, which sucks, but if you have the money to spare, you can pay the Goomba off, and he'll put you in the direction that you want to go in. So, if you have the money, it doesn't really feel like a segmented board. You can go in the direction that you need to go, you just need the money. So it genuinely is an actually pretty good board, as you really have to worry about saving up some money so that you can rig those little roulette carousels, or just try and wing it as best as you can, because there are different options for how many coins you want to put into this roulette to guarantee you get put in the right direction. And I think if you put in like 5 coins, it's possible that you can go in the right direction, but not as likely as you put in 20 coins. So there's a bunch of risk and reward about how many coins you want to use, or all that kind of jazz. It's just an interesting board. I wish there was a little bit more visual flair, like with all of the boards in this game, but it's still a fun board. I do recommend it if you're playing Mario Party 4. Mario Party 5's boards are interesting. I love them and hate them at the same time. They are fun and inventive ideas that aren't really seen much, like, you have an underground pirate sunken ship theme, which is really cool. You have a cake theme, which I guess isn't all that uncommon, but I feel like they had a little more fun with this one, as it was the first game where they really got to, expand past either a 2D plane or a gray platform over a 2D plane, so it was really cool to see them expand ideas. But I do feel like the boards do tend to land in a little bit of the lamer side in terms of how they play out. But I will admit, I do really like Toy Dream. Kind of like with Western Land, it's another simple board, but there are some pretty fun events that happen on this board. Whether it's the army men shooting down the blocks, that, have those 3 event spaces up towards the top, or if there's the train at the bottom that you catch to go up to the top of the board where you can get coins along the way. It's just a simple, fun board. It's a fun one to play, and some boards like Sweet Dream are pretty segmented, and I think Space Dream as well might be segmented, if I'm remembering correctly, but I do remember just Toy Dream being the one that, it's just fun to play. You're in this giant playroom with all these toys and blocks, and it really has a childlike charm to it. I don't know how to describe it. Maybe it's nostalgia talking, because I do believe this was the main board I played as a kid in Mario Party 5, but it was a really fun one. I really enjoy it, and that's why it's my favorite in Mario Party 5. Mario Party 6 was probably the toughest one to choose from, mainly because it's my favorite Mario Party and I really like all of the boards. They all bring something special to the table and I really do enjoy them. I do want to give a special shout out to Towering Treetops. Yeah, this isn't my pick, but I do want to go into this one a little bit because I just love this board. It's another simple board, but it's fun. All the events on the board, whether you're riding a fluff, getting stung by bees, or tickling the nose of a tree to sneeze, it's just so full of charm. It's just such a fun board. I absolutely love this board, but it's not the board I'm choosing for my favorite board in Mario Party 6. That, right, is reserved for Clockwork Castle, which is the unlockable board in Mario Party 6. The main thing that differentiates this board from the rest is that during the nighttime phase of Mario Party 6, this board goes in reverse, and basically the whole entire time you're either chasing DK, during the daytime, who has the star, or when it flips to night, you're running away from Bowser, who will steal a star. So it's really interesting because this board requires a lot of strategy because of the fact that the star is always moving. You're either constantly trying to chase DK down, or if it's like the last turn of the daytime and you know that you're probably not going to catch up to DK, you're going to want to try and create some space between you two because you know the next turn Bowser is going to come around and he's going to be right up on you if you're pretty close to him. So there's a lot of strategy involved with this board and it's just a classic. I really like it. They haven't done a board like this since then, or even before it. It's a very unique board, and I really love the ideas of this one. Mario Party 7's boards had a lot of different ideas thrown into the mix. There were so many different things, whether it was the buying of the windmills in Windmillville, or the Chain Chomp star stealing in Pyramid Park, even though that was done in Snowflake Lake in 6, but whatever. Every single board had a unique gimmick and theme, with the exception of Grand Canal. That one was the more basic standard board. But I do think my favorite board in this game has to be Neon Heights. What I like about this board is that I like when there's multiple different stars, I put that in quotes, on the board. Kind of like with Spiny Desert in Mario Party 3 where there's a Mirage star. Here there's 3 different chests that are along the board. One contains a star, one contains 20 coins, and one contains a bomb. But it doesn't tell you obviously which one has the star. You gotta figure that out for yourself by going around the board and buying the treasure chest, which only costs 10 coins in this map. Of course, a star for 10 coins is like why would you do it? But on this board, because of the fact that 2 of the 3 chests don't have a star, it balances out. And it's really cool. I really like this mechanic. With different events that also happen around the board, like different question mark spaces that you can land on and all that, the chest locations get changed a lot. It just leads to it being a pretty frantic time, and the events on this board as well are honestly really fun. Whether you're swinging baseballs in a baseball stadium, or you're shooting, little cardboard cutouts of Koopa Kid in a shooting gallery, there are quite a few fun mini-game-esque things on this board for you to take part in, and it's really fun. A lot of people really like Pagoda Peak, so I have to kind of mention it, but I'm not the hugest fan of this board. It's a bit overrated in my opinion. It's a linear board with a star at the end. It's not even like Mario's Rainbow Castle where it switches between Mario and Bowser. It's just kind of always there. So, it's not my favorite board. I think Neon Heights just has more appeal in my personal opinion, and I think it is my favorite in Mario Party 7. Mario Party 8 is another interesting one. The boards in this one are either I love it or I really don't care for it. Boo's Haunted Hideaway and Koopa's Tycoon Town I really like. But Gooba's Booty Boardwalk and the DK one, whatever that one's called, did not care for those. I did find Shy Guy's Perplexed Express pretty interesting, but my favorite board has to go to Bowser's Warped Orbit. I know this is an unpopular opinion, but I think this is the best star stealing board, where you start off with 5 stars and you go around stealing them from each other. The board is really simple. It's just a big circle with some areas, some gated areas that are like branching paths. And they're random on which door opens when you go through them. So if you use the Bowser and Bullet Bill candies that are exclusive to this board, and you're going in a direction, you come to a closed gate, and someone is on the other end of one of the sides, you don't know which direction you're going to go in. I do find this mechanic really well done in this map, and I really like that the board is not too big and not too small. It doesn't feel like it is impossible sometimes to hit someone like, you know, in some of the other boards like Pyramid Park and Snowflake Lake. It feels right here, and especially with the fact that the Bowser candy still, I think it's 3 stars, and the Bullet Bill one still 2. There's a real balance of, do I want to use the Bowser candy, you know, I'll get less dice but I'll steal more stars, or do I want to make sure I get the distance I need to get my opponents but steal less stars from them? I just think there's an immense amount of strategy in this board, and, you know, an equal amount of luck based on how those gates open and close. And then, of course, Bowser can flip the board, he can chase you all to the same spot, which could really screw up someone's play. It's a really fun board in my opinion, and the music is also bopping on this board. I think it's a great board, highly underrated, and I think it is well worthy of being my favorite board in this game. Alright, now we're in Mario Party 9. Now, as you all know, I do not care for this game. I don't like the structure of this game or the style of the board. I just don't care for it. But I have to put a board in this spot. I can't skip 9 and 10. So, I'm going to put one here in 9. I'm going to say my favorite board in Mario Party 9 was Boo's Horror Castle. Whenever I did play 9, because I did play it quite a few times, and by quite a few times, I mean a handful. Not that many, but enough times to where I've played enough to at least know that this is the board I like, because it's the only board I really played in it, and that's, you know, Boo's Horror Castle, like I said. I mean, the Luigi's Mansion vibes in this one are strong, like, you know, it's got the vibes, it's got the feels, it's got all that, it's decently well themed, it's nice. I just wish it wasn't so linear. Like, if they did a board in this style with the traditional board layout, I probably would have loved it, even if it was a pretty generic New Super Mario Bros. Style design. Like, I still wouldn't have minded. But it's not a bad board. Like, if you like the Mario Party 9 style, if you like the car, if you like that mechanic, I could see this board being very appealing, especially if you're like me and like the spooky, haunted Luigi's Mansion-esque design of things. I really like that. So, yeah, that's all I've really got to say about this board. So with Mario Party 10, I actually have to put a little asterisk here with this selection, because I actually put this board that I'm going to choose as my favorite in the never played category in my ranking video, because I forgot that I actually have played this board, except not in the main party mode. I played this board in the Bowser party mode. I actually quite liked that mode. As unbalanced as it was, I actually found it to be the most fun mode in that game. I really liked it. Wish there were more mini games for Bowser, you know, but still a fun game mode nevertheless. So the board I'm choosing for this is Chaos Castle. I always love Bowser's Castle theme stuff as well, especially with Mario Kart. Like, the Bowser's Castle tracks are always usually my favorite, but here it's pretty fun and simple, and in Bowser Party, I always pick this board. I just love the style, and for, obviously, Bowser Party, it really fit the mood. It fit Bowser Party. I mean, you know, it's freaking Bowser's Castle, of course. So yeah, I guess that's all I really gotta say about this. Just Chaos Castle is pretty decent, I guess. Alright, so now we're moving on to the handheld ones, and we're starting off strong with Mario Party Advance. Underrated game, may I say. Not a great Mario Party game, but if you're playing it by yourself, it's a pretty cute little time. You know, the mini games are actually pretty dang good. I will die on that hill. And the missions, as a lot of them are fetch quests, aren't like super interesting, but the character and charm to all of the characters in this game, you know, and all those little side quests that you do, people want that kind of level charm in the characters that Nintendo have in their modern games. It's all here in this Mario Party Advance game. I stand by this game. I don't care what anyone says. But obviously, my favorite board is the one board that there is. I don't even want to pick a region of the board that's my favorite because, like, there's nothing really distinctive besides the visuals. You know, at least from what I can remember. But, I mean, play a Mario Party Advance for yourself. And don't go into it thinking of it as a Mario Party game. You know, think of it as a single-player Mario Party experience where you're trying to get around the board and completing missions, but also have some pretty decent freaking minigames in there. Mario Party DS, probably in my opinion the most overrated Mario Party in the world. It's a fun game, but I hate the hex system, the hexes and all that you throw on the board. It's just bleh. I did not care for it, but nevertheless, Mario Party DS had some decent boards, nothing like overly extravagant in my opinion, but nothing too offensive either. I do have to say my favorite board will probably have to be Bowser's Pinball Machine. This was honestly a pretty solid board all around. I love the idea of just being stuck inside a pinball machine. Like, I'll be honest, I really don't remember that much from this board, as it's honestly been a while. Like, this is probably the only Mario Party game, besides maybe Island Tour, that I didn't go back and play recently, like, to really re-examine the boards. So I can't say for sure, like, if like, you know, or what exactly goes on the boards. I remember the music being really good too, but I mean, like, the Bowser boards, like I said, I do have a soft spot for them, and given that none of the boards really impressed me, I mean, I think it was Toadette's Music Room, I think was another one that I was mildly impressed by, but Bowser's Pinball Machine, I just remember really liking. Okay, this one's really easy for me. This is probably the easiest choice of all of these games. It was really easy to choose this one. And for Island Tour, it's gotta be Bowser's Peculiar Peak. I don't like the linear style of these Mario Party boards, but I actually do think Bowser's Peculiar Peak worked. And why was that? That's because you didn't want to be up front. The idea of it wasn't just a race to the finish, it was a race of trying to kind of stay behind. The further along you got, the more, you know, punishments you'd get, or like, you know, if you were in first, you were punished. Like, I like that. It made you not entirely want to win, you know? Like, it was a really good idea that I actually do genuinely think worked. If I went back and played Island Tour, this was the board I would play. I genuinely really liked this board. Like, I really did. If they ever revisited the idea of mini stars and things like that, this would have to be a board, or maybe not the exact board, obviously, but the idea of this board is one I would definitely want to see return, as I actually do think that would be genuinely fun to play. Alright, don't hate me, but I actually did not play Mario Party Star Rush. This is the one Mario Party that I've never played, never touched, never did anything in. And I know a lot of people actually say this is a good one, so I definitely do want to pick it up at some point and give it a shot. But for now, I got nothing. I got nothing on this game. I don't want to say, you know, I don't want to pull one out of a hat and say, oh, this one looks cool. So yeah, I got nothing for now. Alright, Mario Party Top 100. There's only one board. And honestly, it could be worse. Like, it's not even a good board, but for what it's trying to do, it's okay. Like, it gets the job done. The focal point of Top 100 is obviously the mini games, and the one board is just kind of supposed to be a little thing to throw in to make it a little bit of an experience. And I'll be honest, I don't mind this board structure. I actually kind of enjoyed the gameplay of it, and I know that board structure is in like a balloon mode in Mario Party Star Rush, so I probably genuinely would like the boards in Star Rush if they were along the lines of this one. In terms of the structure and the layout of it, people say I'm a hater for anything that isn't the classic style, but I actually genuinely did enjoy the gameplay of this one. I actually have played quite a few rounds on that board. Of course, there's no happening spaces. There's nothing interesting going on, so it does make the experience a little more dull, but I didn't mind it. I didn't hate it. It's serviceable, yet, you know, nothing crazy. Man, I have so much to choose from this game. There's only 4 boards in this game, which obviously is better than the one in Top 100, but God, I mean, the choice in this one is also pretty easy because I just don't care for a lot of them. I mean, King Bob-omb's Powder Keg Mine has got to be my favorite, and let me explain why it's not the other ones instead of this one. I'm going to start with the fruit one, Mega Fruit Paradise, I think it's called. That board just sucks. That board is literally probably, like, my least favorite Mario Party map. Like, the classic styled one of all time. It's just bad. Like, it sucks. I don't even know what to say about it. Especially the bridge is crumbling, and you have to rely on warp pipes. Sometimes, if you're in one corner, you gotta hop 3 warp pipes to where you need to... No, it sucks. Kamek's Tantalizing Tower is honestly not a bad one. There's a couple things going on the map. It's not that bad, but it's criminally small. It's way too small. Like, it's like 18 spaces, I think. I've counted 18 spaces from the star area to the star up top. Way too small. And with how cheap items are, you can just get mushrooms or whatever. Just way too small. And Womp's Domino Ruins kind of competing with King Bob-omb's Powder Keg Mine, but the problem is that there's nothing interesting going on this board. It's very bland, very safe. You have the boulder that will send you across the top bit, but that's a cliche at this point on Mario Party boards. Like every game has a board that does that, so it's nothing extravagant. Like, it's a very play it safe, boring board. Here at King Bob-omb's Powder Keg Mine, you have the bomb in the middle and all the happening spaces in the middle so that can set the bomb off. So you at least have that. You know, there's different segments to the board that you can, you know, go around. It's a more involved board. There's more going on. And yes, it's still kind of got the problem of it being pretty small, but with all the different paths that it has, it's not as bad as Kamek's Tantalizing Tower, where, you know, that one's more of a top to bottom. Here, it's an all over the place board where you can explore the board a little bit, and it's probably my favorite one of the bunch. Or it's definitely my favorite one of the bunch. Not one that I, you know, clamor over and love, but out of all the really crappy boards in that game, it's probably my favorite. Alright, so Mario Party Superstars, I'm going to cheat a little bit. So this one's not technically my favorite board, because my favorite board in this game is Woody Woods. But I felt like it would be cheating since Woody Woods was my favorite board in Mario Party 3. I didn't want to do it again here. I wanted to be like, okay, what about the other 4 boards? Which of those is my favorite of, you know, the game? And that one actually was another pretty easy one. And that's Horrorland. Horrorland is such a fun board. Even in Mario Party 2 it was. But here, it's really freaking good as well. I mean, it brings back a lot of that classic charm that Horrorland had in Mario Party 2. Like, it just recreated the board almost perfectly, in my opinion. Yeah, there were some changes, and there's more lucky spaces than I would have liked, but that was on every board, so that was going to be a factor no matter what. But it's just a such a fun board. The day and night mechanic of it, which is what made Mario Party 6's day and night mechanic, really. That's where it came from. Just done so well. I love King Boo on this map, stealing from everyone. Like, the ruthlessness was still kept in. Just such a fun board, such a classic board, and definitely a fan favorite for me. I love it. So now let's turn it to the community, to you guys. I asked on the community feed, make sure to tune into that whenever I post on there. I asked you all what your favorite Mario Party board was from your favorite Mario Party game. I want to get 2 comments out of the way that kind of tried to cheat the system and put their favorite board from every mainline game. I see you out there. I see you cheating the system. So for the 2 of you who tried to cheat the system, I'm going to just read the list of your favorite boards, and then if people want to read why they're your favorite boards, they can pause and read the comments, just because it would take me way too long to read them. ZakPak FTWYT said, each one being Wario's Battle Canyon, Western Land, Spiny Desert, Goomba's Greedy Gala, Pirate Dream, Snowflake Lake, Pagoda Peak, and Shy Guy's Perplexed Express. And then Noah said Mario's Rainbow Castle, Horror Land, Chilly Waters, Shy Guy's Jungle Jam, Pirate Dream, Fair Square, Neon Heights, and Shy Guy's Perplexed Express. Now I'm going to get to the people who actually answered the question correctly. Spicy Lemon Entertainment said, wow, this is really hard to decide, but I choose Mario Party 3 as my favorite Mario Party game, and Chilly Waters is such a solid first board. My reason being that the giant snowballs can place you in an advantageous position because you essentially get free movement and can decide where to stop. Granted, you time your action correctly. And the risk factor of having 2 players on the middle of the board cracking, resulting in an automatic duel, is a good strategy as well. Rebecca the Luigi Guard says, hard to choose, but my favorite Mario Party is Mario Party 8. As for board, King Boo's Haunted Hideaway. I'm just going to fill in the title there. It really brings me Luigi's Mansion vibes, and unlike the others who want 20 coins for the star, King Boo only wants 10. The layout is very cool and brings me nostalgia of Luigi's Mansion. Next up is Tobeans, aka my friend Becca, who says, Mario Party 8's Shy Guy's Perplexed Express. It gives me so much nostalgia, and it was so much fun. Thank you all for participating in the community thing. If you want to see further community posts, make sure to stay tuned to that community tab. I'll try to do more community engagement stuff in future videos. And with that, I am done talking about Mario Party for today. This was a really fun video to do, and hopefully you guys, they might not agree with my picks, but hopefully you can at least respect them and let me know what your favorite picks are down in the comments down below. I would truly appreciate to hear what you all have to say. This is a really fun discussion to have, and hopefully we can have a nice discussion down in the comments. And tomorrow, of course, when I do my live stream of Peach's birthday cake. Definitely make sure to tune into the stream when it happens, and I can't wait to see you all. So thank you all so much for watching today's video. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, all that stuff down below. Click the notification bell so that you're notified of when I upload videos, and check out the merch store. There's some cool ZakPak merch up on there for you to check out. And until next time, you guys, I'll see you all in the next video.